smiling, with fraternity, using our discipline to reinforce the process of being together in the planet. The same capacity of the imagination can understand I am a human being, but with the same capacity I can transform everything. And I can refuse. We don't need to produce more poor people. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. How can I say acceptable? It's not acceptable. Human beings dying in poverty, in misery. That's part of me. How can you? Okay, now I lift my arms, and now I lift my legs, and now it's impossible. We need to be together, and we need like a way to think the world like architects, produce new opportunities for being together. That's the single command of our discipline. We are in charge of the, nosotros somos responsables by the inability of, por la habitabilidad de los seres en cuanto humanos. We are in charge of the, I can't translate this. It's an extraordinary effort, but un poco despacio. Nosotros somos responsables. We are responsible for care, para cuidar por la habitabilidad by the inhabitability, no? Habitability, the beings when they become humans. It's impossible to translate. But I am a living people. But I'm not, I start my human process when I understand I'm the other. And the discipline have the command to care the process of the integration of the humans. It's not about money or not. It's about how can our discipline integrate this process. And sorry for my bad English, and I only want to say again, cum cup crab. Cap cum crab. Thank you. Sorry, but I spend all the time.
Thank you, Mr. Benitez, for an amazing lecture. And now, if I may ask you to step on to the stage, we're going to start the Q&A session. If I may ask you to step onto the stage. So, yes, so we can start our Q&A session. And let me introduce to you guys our moderator for the session today, Dr. Supicha Towiwit Kap. And our interpreter for this session, Ajahn Jongpit Bunnat.
I use all the time, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys the stage now.
First of all, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation.
No, thank
you. And you fly like how many hours for your flight?
2 or 3 days.
Days, not hours. So thank you so much again. We feel very honored. We're so happy to have you here. But for the Q&A session, I think we better to speak Thai and Spanish so you can, be more elaborate on.
Other way around, I think we can ask him in English, and I can help you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, anything you want.
Because
okay.
his English is good.
No, it's not good my English, but thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so we from the very first feels like we can see that you are a very good observer of the street life, for example. Like you seem to see creativities and a lot of like a local wisdom of people on the street, like normal people, not expert.
Yes.
And when did you get that skill? Where did you get like walking on the street, or you see the maid in the office and then you see, oh, they have some creativity as well and they have a different way to solve the problems?
When you live in a country with normal temperature,
Temperature.
uh, close than 45 degree, you only have survived thoughts. You only you look where their shade is, where is the close, the short path. How can I do this with less effort? Because everything is an amazing, require a many quantity of effort. And for that, I start working like a builder with 17 years old when I finished my high school, and I drive, how can I say, a pickup to buy material for an engineer, and I start to be in the workplace, spending all the day with the laborers. And you can see the labor, wow, it's amazing. They are better than the Circus of Soleil. You know the Circus of Soleil? And
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Okay.
ละครสัตว์ฝรั่งเศส
Oh, okay.
You know the Circus of Soleil? Yes. Imagine the people, the malabarism, over the, how can I say, andamios? Like acrobats. And keep weights and smile and dance. It's amazing. And but you are in this position the first day. The second day you are, and the third day you are, and it's impossible. You need to transform the life of the people, to use his intense capacity to do things. And that's why I start to think in new process, because I live in the work in the construction area with the laborers, and I know how can feel extraordinary jornada. How can I say jornada? Day.
Journey, jornada.
Jornada, un día de trabajo, un día de trabajo.
Working hour, jornada, working hour.
Working hours.
Yes, and you spend all the time seeing them making wonderful things. And when you see that, you say, okay, if he have this capacity, if you think how can this capacity can use to better ways, you have everything.
And in relation to your work, it seems like you work a lot with the laborers, and you seem to trying to, maximize the local resources, either the material or the local skill. And in relation to that, it seems like your laborers, your workers, seem to be like having fun, not experiment, but doing the research with you. You know, like making the brick in a new patterns is not traditional. And they have to have a certain kind of attitude or the values that, okay, I want to play with the architect, I want to play with the engineer. But how can you convince them that this is a new way of doing architecture? Because in Thailand, for example, if you introduce new way of doing the brick, they may say, oh, stop that, it's too tiring, I'm tired anyway. So how would you convince them that, did you bribe them, did you buy them beers, or what kind of technique that you use with your laborers?
I kiss him a lot.
A lot.
It's interesting because they have the capacity. They know his potential. They know the exactly power of his work. For example, in Europe, the bags of cement only have 20 kilos. Because it's too weight for the spine, But in Paraguay, normally people take 50 kilos and live like, but they have the technique to do this. You can do this because you can broke. You need one exactly position to keep and to put and use your body to lift this weight. If you are a stupid guy, you can broke your spine. And that's the intelligence. It's not the instruction, it's the intelligence. If you use the intelligence of the people, you open opportunities for everyone. And that's the way. You only sign the way, how can we do this better using your capacity, and they show. They have time to produce this. They waiting the opportunity to do this. And it's amazing because when finish the work, they makes nicknames for the walls. For example, toboggan. How can I say toboggan? Toboggan is the children place where you falling
Like
down.
slider? Slider. Like
That.
to slide.
Okay, this is the slide walls. This is the tooth bricks,
Oh, really?
broken bricks, and everything, because everything have name, and that's the way. Only conversation.
I think that's very interesting. In a way, you kind of empower them to be able to see their own capacity. Like, oh my God, I can do that.
Yes.
It's actually not much more difficult than before. So it seems like you succeed very successful.
The same friend of me, Rafael Iglesias, say, if you architecture is like your girlfriend. If you respect so many your girlfriend, no happen nothing. You can understand to have less respect, to appear opportunity to do something.
To do what?
Better times,
Okay. Interesting.
better relations.
Okay.
And that's the architecture. So if you have many respect to the exactly way how can historical do the people the things, you only use protocols made at ancient times. But if you think all these protocols are way to think, and you only need new capacity for new sense to view the opportunities and grow everything.
And what about the trend, like architectural trend in Paraguay? Like, do the majority of the architects prefer like using local material, local resources, or they kind of like they want to use like parametric or Zaha Hadid or Rem Koolhaas, like all the big name at the at a global level? What is the trend now?
The influence of the communication process transform everything. This is the moment when, how can say in an elegant way, for erudición, when you know everything, like erudito man, erudición. Oh, okay. Internet know everything.
Yeah.
You don't need to remember nothing because John Google knows everything. Even what you know or what you do or what you don't do, John Google knows. and for that, you are very crossed by many quantity of information. But I am agree with Peter, for example, when he said the importance of the language. And the language is very important for us for many reasons. First of all, because we develop one way to say things. For example, in the case of the human beings, everything becomes in a language. A teenager girl like my daughter can see his closet full of clothes, and she can say, I have nothing to wear. And
It's a girl thing.
And why she said that? Because even the clothes are a language. And when she looked his closet and said, I have nothing to wear, she wants to say, I can say what I can say what I want with this closet. I need other words. I need other process to connect with the people. And that's the initial condition of the language. But no language like English, Thai, or Guarani, or Spanish, the communication process is not necessarily the goal of the language. The goal of the language is the opportunity to think and show you a way to think. And you can use the language to, the highest point of the language is in the conversation. And the conversation is a word with two roots. Cum is together, and versare is spin. Spin together. We converse when we have a conversation, when we spin together around one problem, and we are in the process of, how can I say that, of resolve how can we together make some better. That's the final proposed of the conversation. And we need to keep conversation with all the people, and with the student too. We need to use the language to be in process to change everything, and speaking together around the problems, and real problems, not only the information process. And you need the voluntad, how can I say voluntad?
Will.
The will to being together to the other. That's the conversation.
And in architectural school, for example, because you seem your work seem to work closely with engineer, for example, and also construction management and material and construction that seem to play a very important role. But is it because of the architectural education in your country, or is it just you that you're really into this kind of built by hand? Or
in 50 years ago, in the school of all the world, only the people only know how can use material to protect the human life, and appear the architecture and then the engineering together, and then becomes an independent discipline. And that's in this process, even architecture and engineering perdieron lost opportunity. It's to have a conversation, you need to link all the and for that we love to speak with engineering, laborers, the clients, or the society in general, or alumni, or other professor. We are in process to talk with everyone.
And you show one image of your engineer. Do you work with him for a long time, or you kind of
No.
change to
All
new
the
person?
people ask me the capacitation of my labors, or the incredible experience of my engineering. No, I work with normal labors and normal engineering, and I only show him how I want and how can we do this together. Not only because if you make draws and leave to the engineering, they are absolutely in panic. But if you work together, they appear opportunities.
And do you have any encounter your client, for example, that you want to propose them to use appropriate technology, or
We don't think in that. Well, We only use what we understand is necessary use in this moment. I don't have a difference between sustainable or not sustainable, or for that, I can imagine a roof of water or a place of meats for ferns, for example.
And you seem to show the authenticity of the material that you're using. And how do you see beauty?
Oh, for example, the condition of the art, it's, for example, it's very complicated. Name it art. What is art? But if you say if you read in the dictionary, art is an extraordinary, un hacer extraordinario.
Un hacer?
An extraordinary doing. An extraordinary doing.
Yeah.
Can you understand
Yes.
that? For that, you can, for example, one guy playing soccer in the middle of the stadium with the number 10 here and play and go. It's not a football player, it's an artist, because they do extraordinary what we can do. And the soul of the art is that extraordinary doing. And if you do in extraordinary ways and you show for the people, all the people, in all the people appear the sensation of beautiness, because it's extraordinary.
I think we can feel it.
And that's a good sense, because you can use the cultural sense to understand this is beauty, this is not beauty, this is elegant, or this is not elegant, or this is arrogant, or this is stupid. The people can be, how stupid you are. How can you say that? Sorry. For example, architecture is like your girlfriend. Sorry.
Again. But in intelligent ways, not to get married, right? That has to be emphasized. Okay. And I see that a lot of your project is located in, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, Asuncion, the
Yes.
capital of Paraguay. And is it on your purpose that you want to design or build something in a context that you know the most, or you want to explore, something you don't understand, like China or Thailand or any other places?
When you invite me, I come and I start to... Yesterday, I saw a beautiful woman making movement like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine things with this movement. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I know... when, for example, only to laugh, the bricks have more than 2,000 years of protocol to do it well, a wall of bricks. And change that, it's a very risky thing, because you have 2,000 years of protocol to doing exactly what you need to do with this. And if you have the capacity to relax and smile and say, now we can do this or this with our resources, you don't keep this and try to put here in Thailandia. You be here in Thailandia, for example, and see what you have, and okay, now we can do this with this, with this. It's amazing. It's only a conversation about the capacity of the people and the capacity of their resources around you. Could be even industrial or more local or more, etc., etc. That's the difference ways to understand this is only not a good interpretation about the situation of the material. The architecture is not, for example, Mies van der Rohe said, architecture is put two bricks together carefully. And architecture starts not when you put the two bricks together, when you put it carefully, full of care, with the most delicate situation to expand your limits, and you can make a monument. The brick don't want nothing. The brick is stupid. But it's your soul and it's your idea about the human beings and about the capacity of the people can transform everything.
I think this is the last question, and I found your way of using the words is really beautiful. Like you're trying to distinguish the meaning of value and price. Would you like to elaborate on that a bit more in relation to the role of architect, for example? What the difference between value and price for architect?
In architecture, I think, for example, we expend all our time trying to the management of the prices, producing low cost, fast ways to build, and you can acompañar. How can acompañar? Accompany the financial ideas of your clients or the people, but that's not that's only produce trash thoughts, because money is nothing. Money is only an how can I say that, un acuerdo, it's only a reference about a very humble reference about the value of the.
คล้ายข้อตกลง accordo.
But the value is about the human art, and if you understand the human life have value, what you do in compromise with this idea open time, new time for everyone. For example, a smile. How much costs a smile?
How much?
The price of a smile.
Can be
And
priceless.
And
For
it's
some,
a privilege receive your smile. It's a privilege understand a good, how can say, abrazo?
Hug.
A hug.
A good hug.
Yeah.
How many costs a hug? Or you know some hug machine and you put the coin and
A hug
and you
machine.
can.
Interesting.
Okay, and I know our life have everything about the life and the idea of the human beings, living people, living seres vivos, living beings, convert.
เป็นสิ่งมีชีวิต สิ่งมีชีวิต human being
Seres vivos transformados en seres humanos.
คือจากสิ่งที่มีชีวิตเปลี่ยนเป็นมนุษย์
Yes.
transform
It's beautiful. Trust me.
That's